A very warm welcome to all the students, the candidates for the OET. I hope you're all doing fine. Today's video is going to be about the reading section of the OET. You have seen prior to this I have made videos for speaking role plays and also for the writing tips. But today it's going to be about reading. So as you all know, most of you might be knowing that the reading section is going to be for 1 hour. And the question will be 42. So now if you want to get a 30 out of 42, that's what will get you a B grade. So I'm going to be discussing the C part, which is the most challenging part for most of the students that I know. And we're going to be discussing the strategies and how I'm going to approach the questions so that I get maximum answers correct. Today I'm going to take 4 questions. So as you can see on the screen, the topic is about patient safety. So you can see there's text 1 and there are 4 paragraphs. And so my strategy towards these questions is to first we will be approaching the questions, and then we're going to be coming back to the answers, because if we go reading the whole passage and then go to the question, then come back to the passage, it's going to be wasting a lot of time. So an average time to be spending on these questions 1.5 to 2 minutes. Try to do it in 1.5 minutes. And let's take up the first question. So the first question is, here are the questions. Number 7, the question says, what point is made about the death of a female patient called Mary? So there are 4 options, and out of that option you'll have to choose the best one. The first option is that it was entirely preventable, option number A. Second is that nobody was willing to accept the blame. Third is surgeons should have tried harder to save her life. And D is the type of incident which is becoming increasingly common. So the thing that's very important is to first understand the question, that we have understood the question in the correct way. Because if the understanding of the question is wrong, we will for sure get a wrong answer. So let's try to understand what is the question demanding us to do. What point is made about the death of a female patient? So the subject is a female patient, Mary, and the topic is about the death. So what is the point? So first, it was entirely preventable. So the first thing that you need to keep in mind is that preventable. So we need to keep each and every single word for each and every option in our mind. So first is that it was preventable, and second, entirely preventable, means completely it was preventable. It could have been avoided completely. Second option is nobody was willing to accept the blame. So second is about accepting the blame. So first is about preventing, second is about accepting the blame. C, surgeons should have tried harder to save her life. Third thing is about the surgeons, if they should have tried or not harder, if they tried hard enough or not. Fourth is the type of incident which is becoming increasingly common. So this fourth is about the frequency. So the first option in our mind is preventable. Second is who will accept the blame. Third is surgeons who should have tried to save the life. Fourth is about that the type of incident is becoming increasingly common. So these 4 things we're going to be setting in our mind. And now let's go back to the text. So coming back to the text, let me read it out. Highlighting a collaborative initiative to improve patient safety is in a well-documented case in November 2004. A female patient called Mary. So this is about Mary. We can identify that from right here. Was admitted to a hospital in Seattle, USA to receive treatment for brain aneurysm. What followed was a tragedy. Of course, it was a death made worse by the fact that it needn't have occurred at all. So there is your answer. When it says made worse by the fact that needn't, means it should not have been occurred at all. Needn't means need not. It should not have been occurred at all. So if you go back to the first option, it was entirely preventable. That is your answer. And what is the keyword? Because we're keeping preventable in our mind, entirely preventable, and it's matching this text here when it says it needn't have occurred at all. So that's the answer. If you go back further, we can read the patient was mistakenly injected with antiseptic chloric hexide. It happened, the hospital says, because of confusion over 3 identical stainless steel bowls in the procedure room containing clear liquids. Chlorohexidine contrast dry and saline solution. Doctors tried amputating one of Mary's legs to save her life, but the damage to her organs was too great. She died 19 days later. So as you can see, none of the options are matching. None of the options are matching our answer, because the other option was nobody was willing to accept the blame. It's nowhere mentioned if someone was willing to accept or not. C. Surgeons should have tried harder. It doesn't say anywhere that surgeons tried their best or they did not try their best. D. This is an incident which has become increasingly common. Nowhere it is mentioned the frequency, that is this common or is it not common. So there you go, that's the answer. Now let's go to the text B. Let's go to the next question. The next question is, what is meant by the phrase effort substitution in the second paragraph? So efforts, if you know, so synonyms are very important. So you should know the meaning of substitution. Substitution is something which can be used as an alternative. For example, substitution of sugar is the sugar free, right, which you get, or a substitute of sugar is honey. So substitution means which can be replaced as an alternate. So let's look at the option. And it says in the second paragraph. So that's the thing about the part C. It says specifically which paragraph you need to go to without wasting time. So you can straight away go to your second paragraph. So this option is first, monetary resources are diverted unnecessarily. So first is about money being diverted and unnecessarily. Second, time and energy is wasted on irrelevant matters. Second about the time and energy. For A is about money. Second is about time and energy. C, staff focus their attention on a limited number of cases. Third is about the attention or the focus of the staff. D, people have to take on tasks which they are unfamiliar with. Fourth is about the unfamiliarity of the task. So first is about time, first is about the money, second is about the time and energy, third is about the attention focus of the staff, fourth is about the task that they are unfamiliar with. So now let's go back to the text. Let's read it out. It says, this and similar incidents are what inspired Professor Dixon Woods of the University of Cambridge, USA to set out on a mission to improve patient safety. It is, she admits, going to be a challenge. Many different policies and approaches have been tried to date, but few with widespread success, and often with unintended consequences. So till now, till this the point of the text, there's nothing related to effort substitution. It's going to follow, and we'll see that. There's a danger that they try to encourage effort substitution. So now the answer is going to come up. There's a danger that they tend to encourage effort substitution. That's the word. Now we need to focus more. Explains Dixon Woods. In other words, people concentrate on the areas that are being incentivized, means where they will be getting some incentives, like some benefits, but neglect the other areas. So now it is talking about their focus on a particular areas that they're focusing on, right? It's not even necessarily conscious neglect. So people have so it's not that they're making it consciously. It's not something that they're doing on purpose. It's just happening. Why? Because people have only a limited amount of time, so it's inevitable that they focus on areas that they measured and rewarded. So now here is the answer. People have only a limited amount of time, so it's inevitable that they focus on areas that are measured and rewarded. So the key word is limited amount of time. So again, it comes to, if you can look at the options, staff focus their attention on a limited number of issues. There is the answer, because as it said, limited amount of time, so they have limited time and they have limited, they have a lot of options to focus on. So unconscious, like without making conscious effort, they're choosing the area where they're getting monetized. They're getting more incentives. That's how you get the answer. All others are wrong. So for example, monetary resources are divided. No, it's not mentioned anywhere. Time and energy is wasted on irrelevant matter. It did not mention anything which is irrelevant. C is the answer. And D, people have to take on tasks that they're unfamiliar with. There was no bare mention that there was any task that the staff are unfamiliar with. They were familiar with it, but then they were focused on where they have more incentive. So now coming to the ninth question. By quoting Dixon Woods in the second paragraph, the writer shows that the professor first understands why healthcare employees have to make certain choices. B, doubts whether reward schemes are likely to put patients at risk. C, believes that staff should be paid a bonus for achieving their goals. D, feels the people in question have made poor. So we can see very clearly, first is about understanding the why choices have been made. First is about understanding why choices have been made. Second is about the reward schemes, right? Third is about staff getting a bonus. Fourth is about, the D is about poor choices. So let's go to the text. It's talking about the second paragraph. So let's go to the second paragraph. So here it is. This and similar incidents are what transpired. Professor Dixon was of the University of Cambridge, UK, to set out on a mission to improve patient safety. If it is, she admits, going to be a challenge. Many different policies and approaches have been tried to date, but few with widespread success and often with unintended consequences. Financial incentives are widely used, but recent evidence suggests that they have little effect. There is a danger that they tend to encourage effort substitution, explained Don Woods. In other words, people concentrate on the areas that are being incentivized, but neglect other areas. It's not even necessarily conscious neglect. So here, the sentence, it's not even necessarily conscious neglect. People have only a limited amount of time, and so it's inevitable that they focus on areas that are measured and rewarded. So if you see the first one, understands why healthcare employees have to make certain choices. It's very clear from that, because it says that it's not that they have a choice, they have limited time, and that limited time they need to choose which is the priority. And the priority is the one in which they're getting incentives, right? So that is a clear-cut answer. I don't see about doubting the reward scheme or putting the patient at risk. That's not the answer. Neither is it C, that the staff should be paid a bonus for achieving the goals. It's not there mentioned at all. Third, talk about people making poor choices. Neither is that mentioned. So there you can see how I closed it onto the answer as A, because it was saying that the writer understands why in the limited amount of time they need to do a lot of activities, right? So now let's go to the first question. What point is made about checklists in the third paragraph? Hospital staff sometimes forget to complete them. Nurses and surgeons are both reluctant to deal with them. They are an additional burden for overworked nursing staff, or information recorded on them does not always reflect reality. So yeah, so in this, I'll go back to the here. So it says, the checklist sometimes introduce new risks. Nurses would use the checklist as box ticking exercises. They would tick the box to say the patient had had their antibiotics when there was no antibiotics in the hospital. So therefore, this answer does not talk about how the hospital staff is forgetting to complete them. Second, it doesn't talk about both of them. Nurses and surgeons are reluctant to deal with them. Neither does it say that they are an additional burden, which is C. I will zero out to the option. The information recorded on them does not always reflect reality. And why? Because as we said, we saw in that sentence, it says that the nurses might be taking it before even checking if it's been done or not, before doing the process. So this is how we can understand that, so basically we can use a method of elimination. Also, I'll do another video on that. So this is going to be, I hope you have understood how I'm going to be I'm approaching each and every question, and this is the kind of strategy you need to do in order to get maximum score in your reading section. If you have any questions about the reading section, if you have any questions about the doubts, you can feel free to put in the comments or ask me directly. I have that my contact number displayed. And I am conducting Zoom classes as well. So if you want, we can go forward with that. And yeah, all sections of reading have their own strategies. I hope this video helps you and benefits you if you have any doubts. And best of luck for your exam. If you need any help, I'm here. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye.